those kind of attacks are much lower, are less, because of the kind of strength that is in evidence tonight. So don't let any member of the media or any member of any think tank tell you that any statistical information in Tower Hamlets reflects in any way about a lessening of the problem. In places that I travelled through earlier today, places like Plumstead in South London, there have been serious attacks on mosques that could not happen here. Now, what has any of this got to do with the English Defence League? Well, it has a lot to do with the English Defence League. There is now, belatedly, a significant amount of research that is looking at and which is identifying links between perpetrators of hate crimes against mosques, Islamic centres, Muslims generally, with members of the English Defence League. It's belated, but it's not too late. And I'm afraid to say that the results are already, the preliminary findings are already very much to the detriment of the EDL. When the EDL says we are non-violent, it's not true. And even, you know, in a number of EDL demonstrations around the country that we've looked at, where there is no support in the way that we have in Tower Hamlets, communities are intimidated. And I just want to say, in addition, something about the level of response. You know, there are researchers who would argue that the kind of response that we're seeing here tonight is the wrong one. There are researchers prepared to say to government, to senior police officers, look, Muslims should stay indoors. You know, yes, there is a threat, but Muslims really should not compound the problem. They should hide away. So I think, really, you know, whilst in some communities where there is a lack of this solidarity, one can understand that. But I'm being told by Muslims around London and around the country that they really do regard the work that is happening here as work that they want to emulate. And let me just finish on this, because I also speak to many of my former police colleagues in the Metropolitan Police and again around the country. And you know, what they say to me is that they are fully supportive of the Muslim community. You know, I think problems in policing often arise because of political pressures, just as when my grandfather was policing in London, the then Home Secretary, Winston Churchill, wanted to come down to East London and to get a photo opportunity at the Sidney Street siege. None of that did any good at all for the local Jewish community. And it wasn't too dissimilar when a more recent Home Secretary did the same in East London. I urge you to work in partnership with your local police partners, as you did last year. It was a brilliant success last year. It was, you know, well hailed within the police service as well. There's an argument to be won here, and if this year, if the demonstration and all of the work around it, if it is as successful this year as it was last year, then the argument will be made in Westminster, where many researchers do not bother to come out and see the experiences on the ground as we do. Thank you very much.